Hi guys, welcome to the fourth episode of the Regrowth podcast. This is the first episode in our series to accompany our newly released book released on Amazon Kindle called The Ultimate CBD Oil Startup Guide. You can find that by going to cbdguide.pro and that will take you directly to the Amazon store. And so this first episode in this series is going to be looking at which platform to use if you're looking to sell CBD oil. Mainly the pros and cons of choosing Shopify or WooCommerce. So let's get started. One of the major hurdles for people wanting to start a CBD business is the number of regulations around the product. One of the key decisions that you'll need to make is which e-commerce platform to use to begin selling. Now you really have two options here, either Shopify or WordPress using WooCommerce as the e-commerce extension so you can begin selling. Firstly, we're going to cover Shopify. So for startups, Shopify is usually a perfect fit. It gives you everything you need to start and grow and manage your business online. And it's a simple way to create an online store that can be easily customized. With Shopify, you can simply manage products, stock level, accept payments, set up shipping rates, and you haven't got any hassle of trying to work out hosting because Shopify provide that for you. Even if you have no experience of selling online, you can get set up in very little time. There's no coding required and you have no need to know any development. It is really a plug and play system. So the pros of using Shopify are that it's really quick to launch. You don't need a developer to help you get your business online. You can pretty much just sign up for a Shopify account, choose a theme, a design to use for your website, and Shopify provides you with its own web hosting as well. So really it's an out-of-box solution where you can just choose the design of your website and get up and running. There's other features as well, which are usually paid for add-ons. So plugins to help you with SEO, for stock management. You can add an SSL certificate to ensure your website's secure. So they really do provide everything you need there. The Shopify platform is able to scale with your shop. So whether you have 5 products or 1,000 products down the line, they offer different plans to help you scale your business. These all plans are paid for, however, unlike WordPress and WooCommerce, which is the actual platform is free to use. Also, Shopify is a Canadian-based company, so they're not subject to US federal law, which we'll come to in a bit more detail. Right, so let's run through some of the cons of using Shopify as your e-commerce platform. So as a whole, Shopify itself is CBD friendly. You can sell CBD products using Shopify as your e-commerce solution. The main problem is the standard payment gateways they provide for you to use, which are PayPal and Stripe, aren't CBD friendly. So you can't be selling CBD products using either of these payment gateways. They are both US companies, so they're under federal law. Now, because you can't use either of those two payment gateways, Shopify does introduce an additional 2.9% charge for each sale and an additional 30 cents per credit card transaction. There's really no way around these fees because you can't use the Shopify payment method such as Stripe. It's not available to you. Now, because you've got to use a different payment gateway, there could be some additional customizations you need to do to the website, which will require some further development. It shouldn't be a huge amount of work. Unlike WordPress and WooCommerce, there does seem to be less payment gateways out there which work with Shopify. They're mainly concentrating on WordPress and WooCommerce. Now, this is probably the biggest reason we normally suggest not to use Shopify. So with a Shopify website, they provide hosting for you. Now, this is where all your website files are kept. Now, usually with other websites, you have access to these files and you control these files. So you can choose where you host the website. With Shopify, you don't have that luxury. So they're hosting your files, they're hosting your website, your orders, all your images, all your written content, and you don't have access to move this website to a different platform or to a different hosting provider at a later date. So if they believe that you've broken their terms and conditions or you've just fallen foul of their rules in some manner, they can shut you down without any warning and you've completely lost your online store. Now, this is, especially in the industry of CBD oil, we strongly recommend that you stay in control 100% of the time because, you're risking a lot if you've been working really hard building up your online store and 12 months down the line, you go to log in one day and it's been completely closed down. The key difference when choosing between Shopify or WordPress is Shopify is a lot more simple to set up and it's an online service which is solely focused on e-commerce, whereas WordPress services a lot of different industries. You can use it for a lot of different purposes. With Shopify as well, there's online chat support. You can email them, chat online. So if you do run into issues, you can always get in touch with someone who's a bit more knowledgeable about the problem you're facing. In comparison, WordPress is a bit more advanced and there's a few more steps which need to be taken to set up your website. It's open source as well. So if you're building the website yourself, you have to rely on YouTube tutorials or forums for help if you run into any problems. There's no online assistance for that. However, Shopify has two main problems, and that's the lack of payment gateways for CBD companies. And then you're not in 100% control of your website. So they can control all the coding and the hosting. So if they do feel that you've broken their terms and conditions, then they could just take down your website. And we see that as quite a big risk for you to take. So that's about Shopify. Now on to WordPress, which is the most popular content management system used by websites on the internet. Originally, people just used it for blogging, but it's over the last few years, it's just boomed and you can use it for any sort of business you're looking to launch online. And WooCommerce is the extension which you add to WordPress to give it its e-commerce functionality. So just like Shopify, you can do all the same stuff. So you can add products, manage orders, manage stock, create coupons, do everything you need to have an online shop and sell products, basically. And again, just like Shopify, there's additional add-ons which you can purchase, which just make your online shop more functional. WordPress and WooCommerce are open source, so it's free to download and to use for your website. If you are looking to do it yourself, it's more complicated than using Shopify, which is just sign up and the system's there for you. But if you're hiring a web design agency, then it's not going to be problematic for them. It's very simple for anyone who has any knowledge of this sort of thing to set up your WordPress website. There's thousands upon thousands of themes you can choose for your design, or you can even design something bespoke or custom made if you want something to look a bit more fancy. What is good about WordPress is the fact that it's open source means that you can choose where to host it and you're in control of all the files which make up your website, which is completely opposite to Shopify. So this means you're in control. You can choose what hosting company to put your website on, and you can make backups of your website. So God forbid something did happen to it and it was taken down for some reason, at least you've got a copy and you can find the solution and get it back online as quickly as possible. So that's a massive plus, which Shopify doesn't provide you. And from our experience, it's easier to find payment gateways to add to your WordPress website to start accepting payments for CBD products. I don't know why, there's just a lot more payment gateways which offer WordPress services. So that's definitely a bonus. We are a bit biased because we are a WordPress agency, but overall the benefits do outweigh the negatives for using WordPress to sell your CBD products and to set up your business. Shopify is probably the go-to choice if you're looking to set up a website quickly and do it yourself. However, finding a payment gateway is going to be more problematic, and you're running the risk of you not having 100% control of your website and Shopify having a hand in that. WordPress you can set up yourself. It's going to be slightly more complicated. If you're using a freelancer or an agency to build your website, then it's really going to be no problem for them to use WordPress as your content management system. It really does provide you with a CBD-friendly platform, gives you more options to find a payment gateway, and you remain fully in control. So for that reason, we would definitely suggest, if you're looking to start selling CBD products, to use WordPress as your content management system for your website. As a side note, we have experienced clients coming through getting in touch with us, and they've built their website using Wix. Now, Wix, the websites look pretty bad. They're pretty crap anyway. And also they don't accept CBD products. So we would definitely suggest not building your website using Wix just as a disclaimer. Thanks for listening to episode 4 of the Rude Growth podcast. And I hope you guys found that useful when deciding between Shopify or WordPress for your CBD website. And just follow us on Spotify and you'll get notified when we have a new episode.